Never made the Final Four. By the way, I have them in the Final Four this year, no big deal. 3 number 1 seeds are in action. Virginia looking to bounce back from losing, of course, in the first round last year. Cavaliers have a 31% chance to win the title, according to BPI. That is the best in the field. North Carolina, my champion, no big deal, making its 50th tournament appearance, second most behind Kentucky. They play Iona. Roy Williams 28-0 in the opening round, most wins without a loss in history. And the number 1 overall seed is Duke. They take on North Dakota State. They've won 12 straight with a healthy Zion Williamson, excluding the game he got hurt. My sheet is 15-1 after one day. No big deal. Okay, back to sneaky hembo time. Jalen, which player owns the NCAA tournament scoring record for a freshman? It's the whole tournament, not a single game.
Not many players sign a letter of intent, go to a school, and is a one and done and win the championship, then go into the lottery. The answer is Carmelo Anthony.
See, it was too obvious. He's third. The answer is Derrick Rose, who had 4 more points than Carmelo Anthony. And by the way, your old teammate Chris Webber is 7th on the list. Laura.
We knew that Himbo would be sneakier than that. Okay, Jay Will, we know all about Duke. We know about Zion, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish. But how about 5 players to watch in the tournament? A couple of them have already played. Some of them haven't. We should know they're not on Duke, just for everybody out there. These are 5 players not on Duke that we need to pay attention to.
Yes, let's talk about number 5. Let's go out to Iowa State. A team that won the Big 12 conference tournament, Lindell Wigginton. Now, look, he's been averaging 17 points per game. He shoots 40% from the three-point line. He's a dynamic scorer. He's kind of like what Jason Terry used to be off the bench. He can score that many buckets. He averaged 17 a game. He's a lethal jump shooter, and he's great in isolation.
I like him, too, because he was injured for part of this season. He didn't have the season he wanted last year. He stepped up in a big way this year.
Yep, and they're in the same region with North Carolina. I mean, that could be a potential clash. That could be really good.
Who's number 4?
Number 4, let's go out to Texas Tech. All right, you think about a team in Jarrett Culver. He's going to be a lottery pick in the NBA draft, averaging 19, 6, and 4. Best defensive team in the country. I think he has a 7-foot wingspan. Okay.
Goodness.
Now he can get to the rim whenever he wants. He has that kind of Jason Tatum-like length. When Jason Tatum's able to attack for the Boston Celtics, he's the Big 12 Player of the Year. Now, if this team makes threes, they could be a sleeper pick to get to the Final Four in the same region with Gonzaga.
Yeah, there are a few people that I see picking them pretty consistently. Seth Greenberg, our coach, he picked them to make it to the Final Four.
I hear about it every day.
I bet you do. How about number 3?
How about a player that's only been playing the game of basketball for 7 years?
Crazy. Rui
Hachimura. Plays for Gonzaga. Okay, now look, I think he's going to be a top 10 NBA draft pick. He's averaging 20 points, shooting 60% from the field. Reminds me a little bit of Giannis. With his ability to rebound the ball, push the ball in transition, will be the first Japanese-born player drafted in the NBA. Okay, now I think with his size, his frame, they're a front-court dominant team. They make it a priority to give him the ball. He's a special type talent.
He's been so much fun to watch. Gonzaga already has advanced after yesterday.
Yes.
Number 2.
Who
are we looking at?
Soul Glow. The hair is phenomenal.
It really is. It has a life of its own.
Coby White, I looked at the draft board the other day, and I did not see Coby White's name in the top 10. That is wrong. Coby White will be a top 5 NBA draft pick. I think he is turning into that type of talent. He reminds me a lot of Darren Williams that used to play for the Brooklyn Nets, okay? Well, the New Jersey Nets back then, but 6'5", 210 pounds, but has lateral quickness that can move a little bit like James Harden. Doesn't shoot the ball like James Harden, but can move like James Harden or like Jamal Crawford a little bit with the basketball. Dynamic with the ball.
Yeah, Greeny has North Carolina winning the championship. He thinks that maybe Coby White makes the big shot that he didn't make in the ACC championship game at the very end, or in the ACC tournament. How about number 1? Who do you have?
It's like I said in the first segment. If you're a GM, you're definitely going to take Zion Williamson with the first pick in the draft. I think he's the biggest celebrity we have in the game. But a player's game that might translate better to the NBA is Ja Morant. Think about the combo guards that we have in the NBA right now. De'Aaron Fox. You think about Trae Young. Okay, well, he doesn't have the frame to take the bullying. Well, you don't need that frame anymore when you can dance with the basketball and the freedom of the NBA transition that we have. Ja Morant is that player. The other night, 19 points, 16 assists, 10 rebounds. Players like, oh, of course you're hyped on him. It's the first play in the tournament. No, he's been doing this the whole year. Ask Alabama. Ask other teams he's competed against. This kid at 6'3", 175 pounds, his game in an NBA team, he will be an instant dynamic player to come in and change a franchise.
Okay, that'll be fun to watch. We'll see if he does end up being that number 2 pick. How far do you think he can take Murray State? Because he's been doing it all season long, basically by himself.
Well, he'll need to continue. But look, I'd rather have the problem of having a Ja Morant on my team than not having potentially one of the best players in the game in college basketball right now not on my team.
One of my favorite parts of the entire day was watching you and Chris Bosh watch Ja Morant highlights earlier on. A ton of respect for this guy.
I was going to say,
that he
only 2 names you know that can dunk over somebody, Vince Carter and then Ja Morant.
There we go. Ja Morant scored or assisted on 55 points yesterday. That's the most points created by a player in the NCAA tournament in the last 10 tournaments. All right, gentlemen, show us how he did it, Green.
He was trending like crazy all day yesterday. He's the first triple-double in the tournament since Draymond Green. Give me a closer look at Ja Morant.
And I'm going to show you why Jay Williams and NBA executives and obviously the NCAA tournament and everybody gets a chance to enjoy this young man play, what they actually see from him on the floor. Here you see Ja with the basketball. Look at the situation, Greeny. It's 8 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah.
Boxes and elbows right here. Everybody understands that an All-American has the basketball, right? So he knows that too. So guess what he's going to do? He's just going to go in this bag. Y'all want to help? I'll step back, bang, bang. Shows that he can make the three-point shot, shoots with range. Now, this next play, how about this? I wanted to make sure the play got stopped right here for a reason. Because Ja Morant, as soon as he gets the ball, look, his head is already up. And you know what happens when you do that? Guys like this, like, oh, I'm running. Because he going to reward me, okay? So now all of a sudden, soon as he turns the corner, now boom, right at half court, Dickie Vitale will appreciate this. Fundamentals. Watch how he flick of the wrist. Boom. Oh, for the layup, okay, in transition. Now, when you take care of your teammates, the coach says, you know what? We want to take care of you. So this is actually a set play. Watch how he catches it at the elbow. And all of a sudden, you see Ja using his quickness to get back door. And now, it's business decisions right here. He like, oh no. Look at this. He like, oh no. He like, oh no. What do I do? He see it coming. And this is when your mind goes faster than your feet. Because you notice he ain't moved, but he see it coming. So now look at him. He like, uh-oh, should I do this? Now, the guys that play with him all of the time, they know what's coming. They know what's coming. Now, watch this, Greeny. Oh! Now, that's where you don't want to be, okay? And to take it a step further, this is when it gets really ugly. This right here is a visual you don't want, okay? Now, everybody like, oh, we got a guy that can take us there, right? And they like, oh, we ain't never seen nothing like this in our lives. And that's what happens when you have a transcendent talent like Ja Morant making plays.
Well done. Extremely well done. And I'm a firm believer, by the way, in names, all right? If your name is Ja Morant, you were meant to be a superstar. Same thing if your name is Zion Williamson. We're going to see him tonight.